Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my podcast. Recently, I changed the name of it. It's called Grabbing Coffee with Arun. And on this episode, I have a special guest. His name is Raheel Ramzanali. And Raheel is the host of CityCast Houston. And Raheel, to start off with, welcome to the program.
Hey, what's up? I'm so glad to be back. I was on your video series back in the day as well, so I think I'm a second time guest, so I'm excited.
So, Raheel, to start off with, tell me a little bit about CityCast Houston.
Yeah, CityCast Houston is a daily podcast that covers everything happening in Houston and the surrounding areas. So this could be, politics. We just had former Mayor Anise Parker on. She announced her candidacy for Harris County Judge. We've had on City Controller Chris Hollins. And then, like we get into politics, we get into local news, but then we also have fun. We talk about the latest food trends, like where's the
Right.
best place to get a burger, where's the best place to get barbecue. Then we talk about like some culture stuff, right? We'll have conversations about unwritten rules of the road in Houston. So we try to cover everything and anything that's interesting to Houstonians.
But it's interesting. So, you do this full time, huh?
Yeah, this is my full-time job, so I work on this Monday through Friday, sometimes on the weekends. And then on the weekends, I'm still doing some sports stuff because I used to work at ESPN, and I got my start in sports radio actually with my media career. So I do some play-by-play for UFC Fight Pass on their TV side. So I still do some sports stuff here and there, but this is my full-time gig.
Believe it or not, Raheel, I want to sound like you. I love your voice.
Oh,
I
thank you. It's
want to
it's
get
just me
there, but
talking.
right. Tell me, how long did you work for ESPN
Yeah,
here in Houston?
I was at ESPN from 2015 until 2020. So 5 years. And unfortunately, during the pandemic, so many people lost their lives, number one. So many people lost their jobs. And I was one of those people. So I got laid off because of the pandemic. And, it sucked to be without a job in a time where there was so much uncertainty in the world. But, luckily I rebounded, and luckily my professional network really helped me out. And, it ended up being one of the best things to ever happen to me because now I've taken some big steps into my career, and, I'm just enjoying where I am.
Yeah, believe it or not, I look forward to a couple of my friends and I look forward to every episode,
Oh,
and I
wow.
want to get
Thank
to
you.
that point too. So because you guys do have some interesting topics.
Oh, that just made my day, man. Thank you so much for supporting, and I appreciate that your friends are listening as well. And whoever's watching this or listening to this, please subscribe to CityCast Houston. It's free, by the way, so you can get it anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can go to our website, houston.citycast.fm. We also have a daily newsletter called Hey Houston, which will get you ready for the day, right? Like the biggest news stories, events, food recommendations, all that good
Yeah,
stuff.
Brooke is the one that writes it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, Brooke Lewis. She's a great writer. She's a local author here as well. And she's putting out a daily newsletter. And our executive producer, Laura Isensee, is doing a great job. I love working with her. We also have a producer, Carly on Jones, who you'll
Right.
hear on the podcast from time to time. And she's, an editing guru. She does a great job putting out a really good podcast. It's hard to edit me sometimes. So she makes it work.
Believe it or not, Raheel, I think you were one of the ones that inspired me to do what I'm doing. I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
because my background is really accounting. I worked for the city for 22 years.
Hmm.
But this is just a new thing for me. It's completely new, and I'm just learning how to record, how to talk to people, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
tell the audience a little bit more about your. I think you said you went to UT, right?
Yeah, UT, University of Texas. I was there from 2004 to 2007, back when
Mm.
we won a national championship. Football was king, and it's slowly starting to get back to that. But yeah, I was there. I was doing broadcast journalism, and it was so much fun, and like got so much great experience. But it has changed so much now. Like they had the Longhorn Network there, so they redid the whole journalism program. There's a beautiful journalism building now, and communication center is different. So, I've had a chance to go back, and it looks amazing. But I wish, as much as I learned, you know, as much as I learned over there during my years, I wish I was there now because it's a totally different program.
Right, right. But it's interesting how you and I met. Do you remember how that happened?
Yeah, my brother, right? Yeah,
Right. Yeah,
Dr.
because
Ramzanali. He was
right.
yeah, he told me about you and he's like, "Hey, he really wants to interview you." And I was like, "Absolutely, why not?" And I'm glad you're doing this, by the way. I'm glad you're doing this again because that's the beauty of podcasts, man, is that anybody can do this and anybody can have a conversation and we can share it with the
Yeah.
world. And I'm glad that my brother connected us.
Yeah, because believe it or not, my parents were going to your brother,
Yeah.
who's a dentist, by the way, and then they kind of missed that because I don't have a good dentist anymore,
Oh,
because that insurance doesn't cover it anymore or something
oh
like that.
no. Oh
But
man. But yeah, he's he and the entire team there, they're fantastic. They keep calling me. You and I haven't gone to them in a while because I keep missing my appointments too, and I really need to go.
so what kind of format did you guys have on ESPN in the morning?
Yeah, ESPN, it was more sports talk, right? And it was more live radio.
Mhm.
So it was taking calls. It was coming up with funny, segments. It's coming up with interesting segments. And it's a different kind of creative, right? Because every segment is something new. It's hard to repeat segments in the morning. So you really have to flex your creative muscles, especially with sports, because there's
Right,
only so many times you can talk about a game, and there's only so many
right,
times you can talk about the same thing over and over again. So it was a different creative, but for me, like podcast is it's a creative it's a creative format that I like a little bit more because you really have to take your time, right? And you have to like think about a show. In the When you do a show, it has to really mean something. So every question has to be really good. Every word you say is pretty much, like it's important. So it's two different things, but morning radio it was like more of a
right.
wacky fun and creativity.
So what do you think about the Rockets acquiring Kevin Durant? Is that because I've been listening to the news today, and it's
Hmm.
like people are going one way or another, and it seems like they need to add more pieces or something like that.
Yeah, they need a
Right,
shooter. They need a shooter really badly, but I think this move is all about the next 2 years. Can you win a championship in the next 2 years? Because at Durant's age, he'll probably still be a decent player. He's just not going to be a great player, I don't think. Um, and then injuries, coming off of the Achilles tear, it's now been almost 2 years. Like how is that going to impact him? My biggest thing is you find a shooter, you've got all the role players you need, you've got a good defense, you just need him to be healthy. And if he's healthy, I think they go to the NBA finals. Like I think it's
right.
that good of a team, right? They've got every piece.
Raheel, I need to learn how to have that smooth voice like you do.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
I get nervous. I don't know what happens. I don't
And
know
don't
why.
be nervous. We're just talking, You're making me feel comfortable, so that's why,
So
I'm
let me ask you
relaxed.
this. I know you were doing some other work with wrestling and all that too, right?
Well, with UFC, so I haven't done any wrestling work yet. I would like to one day, maybe do some play by play for wrestling, but UFC, which is mixed martial arts, doing that for a local promotion called Fury Fighting Championship, and
Mm-hmm.
their fights are broadcast around the globe on UFC Fight Pass, which is a streaming service by the UFC, which is the biggest mixed martial arts promotion out there. So I'm doing that on the weekends, and I've done some stadium hosting for the Houston Roughnecks, which is a spring football league in the United Football League, formerly the XFL. I've done some stuff with the Houston SaberCats as well, but mainly it's the podcast and doing the UFC stuff on the weekends.
Yeah, your podcast is really cool, Raheel.
Man,
Because
thank
a
you.
friend of mine named David Cleveland turned me on to it because I didn't realize it was on until like much later.
Hmm. Yeah,
You know,
and that's the
and
challenge, right? Like Houston is such a big city that has so many potential listeners, but because it's so big, it's hard to get the word out sometimes, and people
right,
miss it. But what I found is that when people do find it, they love it, and so that's why I encourage everyone to check it out. And I'm not saying that because I'm the host, but I really think even if I wasn't the host, I would listen to it. And I did listen to it before. So
yeah,
it's a good podcast. It keeps you informed about the city. And CityCast it's a national company. So there's 12 other cities as well. Uh,
right. I saw that
yeah.
episode on Friday. I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah. The one with all of the hosts from across our network. So like CityCast Austin, CityCast Boise, CityCast DC, Vegas, on and on, Chicago. Um, and each of these podcasts do the same thing that we're doing in Houston. Like, we're just connecting Houstonians to their city, or connecting the people who live in these cities better to the city so they know what's happening.
So let me ask you, how many people does it take to produce something like that? Because I'm doing mine by myself, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah, luckily I have a team helping me out. Usually we'll have one person working on it with me for sure, sometimes two. But it's like a different style, right? Like, you got the music, you got the editing, you've got a
Right.
guest, you've got to cut some of the guest out sometimes because they talk too much, like I do. So
Mhm.
like, there's editing that goes into it, but it's usually one, but sometimes two.
So do you guys record every day, or how does that work?
Almost
Or
every day. Yeah, sometimes multiple times a day. Just depending on our schedule, depending on when our guests can join us, because it's like a newsroom. We have to hunt down the guests. We have to find who would be a good source for this story,
Mhm.
and then we tape the episode. So it just depends when they can do it, when we can do it, and sometimes we do two, sometimes we do three times a day.
We being Indian, my mom likes Pooja Lodia, and when she
Of
was
course.
on, she was sitting there listening to her. She said, "Oh, you need to get Pooja on your podcast." I
Of
said,
course.
"Mom,
Pooja's
what?"
the best. My mom loves
Well,
her too. I always tell her,
yeah,
like, my mom gets so excited to watch her on TV, and even my daughters now, like, when you see somebody that looks like you, it's really cool, right? And Pooja being Indian, it's cool that South Asian kids get to see somebody like Pooja on TV, and hopefully that inspires more people, and especially more girls, to do something like this, like going in a media profession.
but it seems like it took a while, though, Raheel. I mean, because I'm a little bit older than you, and it took a long time, right,
Yeah,
for that to
it did.
happen.
It did, right? In Canada, there have been South Asians hosting the news for a while now, like here and there.
Mhm.
But I think it took a while, right? Like, even when I was a student at UT during the 2003, 2007 stretch, there was there was nobody I could look up to because there's nobody doing it.
Yeah.
So it takes time, but once, a couple of people get in, then it's on, right? Like, now I know so many students who are pursuing this career. It might not be in front of the camera, but they are looking at the media space as a potential career, which is fantastic.
Yeah, another thing that's interesting is a lot of my friends that are from Pakistan also,
Hmm.
and I tell people, I said, there's no difference between India and Pakistan. They look at me like there is.
No,
I don't think so. You know what I mean?
we're
It was
all
one
one.
country at one time.
Yeah, exactly. And just I think the borders and the religious differences across all nationalities, it's frustrating, right? Like, we're all, at the end of the day, we forget that we're all on this planet together for a short
Right.
time, right? So don't let something like that create some kind of differences and issues.
Right. So I know you like coffee a lot too, just like me, right?
Oh, I
So
love
what's your
coffee.
favorite kind of coffee?
Oh man, okay. Weekdays I love cold brew. Okay, here's what I make my own cold brew. So I make it for the week. I got this
Mhm.
little, like, cold brew maker on Amazon for $15. So I make it every single week, and I'll put cold brew, HEB, chocolate, Mutopia milk, uh, some oat milk, and then cold egg whites. People get disgusted by this, but I put egg whites in my coffee. It's a cold drink. It's good. I
Mhm.
get protein. It makes it a little bit creamy. I'm good with that. And then on the weekends, I love a good iced latte, lavender latte.
Oh my God. You don't like chai, Rahel? Like
Mm,
chai latte?
No, not chai. I'll drink every once in a while. It's just not enough caffeine for me. If I drink something for caffeine, I want like a big hit of caffeine. I'll drink chai like when I go to my parents' house, I might have some, or if there's a dawat going on or something, I might have some. But I also stopped drinking caffeine after like 2 o'clock the latest, and usually Desis drink chai in the evening. I can't do that because then I'll be awake all night.
Yeah, I know you keep talking about Galveston, and I know I used to go to Galveston a lot when I was young.
I love
But
Galveston.
let me ask you one last question. What is your favorite Indian restaurant in town?
Oh, come
That
on. You listen to the podcast. You know the answer. What is it? Do you know?
I'm thinking Himalaya, but I'm not sure.
No, no. To me, Aga's is the number one restaurant.
August, yeah.
Aga's
Okay, I
is,
should have thought of that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I try to bring it up as much as possible. I'm friends with the owner, Shaukat Uncle, and his son Zane.
Mm.
His entire family, I know them. But even if I didn't know them, I would go there all the time. It is the best food. It's the most consistent food. It's the most flavorful food.
Mm.
It's just their service is fantastic, and you just every time you go, you don't leave upset, right? Like sometimes you go to Desi restaurants and you're like, the service wasn't good or the food wasn't good, and I just spent all this money. So to me, it's like the most consistent. I think it's the best food in the nation.
Yeah, Raheel has been very informative, and I was just honored to talk with you.
Of course,
I really loved having you the first time, and I hope we can do this again.
awesome,
Uh, Thank you very much for letting me do this. And
absolutely. Thank you for
all
having
right,
me.
all right. So we'll talk soon. And if you guys need to reach me, my email is I changed it, and it's grabbing coffee with Arun ARUN @gmail.com. Right. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
All right.